This is an Excel tutorial for Professor James Carson's RMIN 5110 class. Today we're going to solve question 4 and 5. Let's do number 4 first. Number 4, let's read the question first. Murphy's defined benefit DB plan also provides a cost of living adjustment, the COLA, of 2% per year. The annual benefit increases 2% each year after retirement. Starting in year 2, to be received at the beginning of each year. Assume that Murphy expects to live 15 years after she retires. Based on this assumption and using a discount rate of 3%, what is the present value of COLA? Provide your answer in the blank below. Okay, let's solve this question. First, let's check what we do know. From the question, we know how many years Murphy lives after she retires, her pension benefit of $30,000 from the previous question, her cost of living adjustment, the COLA, the compounding interest rate, and the discount rate for the present value. Now let's start our Excel spreadsheet work. Here we have time, year, pension benefit, the cost of living adjustment, and the interest and discount rate. First, we drag down the number of years we have. In order to do that, we type in the first 3 initial values so that Excel knows the rule that we're going to apply. Here, I already had done this. If you see the small cross in the lower right corner of the area we have pasted, it means that Excel is now ready. And let's drag. When you drag, you hold the left side of your mouse. And here we have the result from year 1 to 15. We do the same with time. You know that the time starts with 0 because the beginning of each year is based on the time up to that year. For example, the beginning of year 2, the time before this point of time that has passed is 1 year. The same applies for the other years, such as for year 3, the time that has passed before the beginning of year 3 is 2 years. Hence, before the beginning of year 1, no time has passed, so we mark 0 for the first cell in time. So now let's drag it. So after setting the time and year, we will type in the pension benefit. Since we have the same pension benefit over the years, we will type in the same amount, which is $30,000. Again, we drag it, and $30,000 for every year. The next step is getting the COLA value. So I wrote down the formula for the COLA, which is the pension benefit multiplied by 1 plus the interest rate raised to the power of time, here n, minus the pension benefit. So in order to calculate the COLA value, first type in enter. This lets Excel know that this cell is a formula, not a numeric value or letters or string variable, whatever. The equal sign lets Excel know that this is a formula. Then let's click on the pension benefit, which is cell D5, and it blends in D5, the same color. And then multiply, which is the asterisk, bracket 1 plus the interest rate, close the bracket, raised to the power of time, n. And let's be sure and put 2 additional brackets here, and minus. So for information, you can type in the formula here in the cell, also here in the address window. So back minus the pension benefit. We click here, and it automatically shows as D5, and then enter. So here we have a COLA benefit of $0 because no time has passed and our time value is 0, so that COLA is 0. So next we calculate the present pension benefit plus the COLA outcome. Again, enter equal sign to let Excel know that we are having a formula. Pension benefit, click on this cell, plus the COLA value, and then enter. Now let's calculate the present value of the COLA. The formula is indicated here, and it's COLA divided by 1 plus the discount rate raised to the power of time. So equal COLA divided bracket 1 plus the discount rate raised to the power of time. And let's be sure and add some more brackets. Then enter. So as you can see here, if you click on the address, the same colors for the same cells, D5 for F5. For COLA, the same. Present value of COLA, so it shows the discount rate is blended in red and is I3 B5. So when you drag here the values, it will show an error message. This is because if you drag, Excel automatically acknowledges the next cell down the interest rate. So in this case, as you can see, instead of using the interest rate here, it is using here the letter COLA, and that's why it's showing an error message. To fix that, we should fix the cell for the interest rate. So this is done by putting a dollar sign in front of the cell that we want to fix. Here it's the interest rate. It's in cell F3, red. So we'll put a dollar sign in front of F and after F, and then enter. And now let's drag it. As you can see, since we fixed the interest rate, we've got the right values here. So now let's drag for the pension benefit plus COLA formula, and here we get the result. The same here for the present value of COLA. We fix the discount rate here. So let's click. Discount rate is the red cell, I3. Put a dollar sign in front of I and after. Enter. And then drag it until the 15th year. So here are the values. So in order to get the sum here, again, we type in the equal sign to let Excel know that this is a formula, and then type in sum, bracket, and let Excel know which area we want to sum up. And then close the bracket, enter. And this is the answer. $51,785.24. Next, let's do question number 5. Let's read the question first. Related to our discussion on assumed returns and withdrawal rates, create a spreadsheet like the one below that calculates the answers to the following questions. Assume the withdrawal occurs at the beginning of the year as opposed to the end of the year. Once you've set up your spreadsheet, write your answers for the following scenarios. How many years does your money last? So this is the core of this question. How many years does your money last? So in order to solve this question, we need to know how much money we have left at the end of the year. If this amount is dropping down to 0 and becomes 0, negative, that's the point how long your money will last. So let's start our Excel spreadsheet practice. The default setting of this question is given by the amount in our account, which is $100,000, withdrawal rate of 11%, and interest rate 8%. First, we want to calculate the annual benefit that we will be receiving at the beginning of the year. this is simply calculated by the $100,000 amount that we have in our account multiplied by the withdrawal rate. So after setting the equal sign here, we multiply cell C4, the account, by the withdrawal rate. Since the withdrawal annual benefit that we receive every year is the same, we have to have the same value. But if you just type in the number and drag, Excel will show you $11,000 for all the cells, just like we did in our previous question. So for example, 11,000, and we drag it, we get 11,000 for all the years. But this is different when we have the situation is different when we have a formula. So again, we calculate the annual benefit received as account multiplied by the withdrawal rate. Here we have to fix it. We fix cell C4 by adding $2 signs in before and after the alphabet C, and we fix the interest withdrawal rate by adding $2 signs before and after E. And then we drag it, and then we get the same amount for all the years. The second step is to calculate the balance. As I've written down, the balance is the difference between account and annual benefit received. So, in order to calculate this, equal sign account minus annual benefit received, and here we get the money. So we drag it down until the 35th year. Here it shows minus 11,000 because we don't have any values here for the account and no values here. But Excel will adjust all the values once the right values are typed in. So you'll see that in the end, Excel adjusts every values and makes it a complete table. So the third element that we should calculate is the income from interest. As I've written down here, the income from interest is calculated by the multiplication of the balance and the interest rate. Again, we type in the equal sign to let Excel know this is in formula. The balance here multiplied by the interest rate. Again, here we fix the interest rate in order to not get any error messages. So the income from interest rate for the first year is 7,120, and when we drag it down here, it's all showing minus 880. So the end of year ending value. Once we get this and indicate that the second starting amount of the second year is the same as in the ending value of the first year, the table is complete. So how do we calculate the end of year ending value? So is that written down? It is difference between account and annual benefit received plus the income from interest. So as we have calculated for the balance previously, the balance is the same as the difference between account and annual benefit received. So we can calculate it either way. So let's start with the first version. Equal sign account minus the annual benefit received plus income from interest. And here we get the value. Now let's try the second version. Equal sign balance plus income from interest, and we get the same value, 96,120. But let's stick to the first version. So again, account minus the annual benefit received, and then plus the income from interest. So this next step is we should indicate that the starting value of the second year is the same as the ending value of the previous year. So equal. So here the equal sign has two meanings. it indicates it is a formula, and at the same time it also indicates it is equal to another cell's value. So one equal indicate it will be the same as the cell G4. Enter. So next we will drag down the amounts for the account, but note this here we should drag down from the second cell on, not here. Here it is just a numeric value. It's not a formula. We only drag down. We don't want to confuse Excel with a numeric value and formula. So we just apply this formula to the rest of the cells, and let Excel know we will apply only this formula to the rest of the cells. So starting from the second cell, C5, drag down to year 35, and here we get the values. This is saying 0 because we still don't have the values for the end of the year ending values. So here, again, we drag down till year 35, and the table is complete. So to the question about how long our money will last, the first negative value we get at the 15th year. So your money is only good for 14 years. So the answer is 14 years. So when you change the conditions to the second example, which is 10% for the withdrawal rate and interest rate of 4%, we will see that the negative value starts in year 13. So your money is good only for 12 years until the 12th year. The third condition, 10% and 5%, you will see negative value starts at the 14th year, so your money is good to go until the 13th year. So the fourth example, 14% and 10%. So here we get a negative value here in the 11th year, so your money is good only for 10 years. The last example, 8% and 3% for interest rate, you will see negative value starts in year 16. So your money is only good for 15 years. So this is the end of the tutorial, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.